On the remote Hook Peninsula in County Wexford, a formidable mansion stands, defying the passage of time and the Atlantic storms. This is Loftus Hall. It's often called Ireland's most haunted house, a title not easily earned in a land already rich with supernatural tales. But Loftus Hall isn't just haunted by an ordinary ghost. Its story is far more chilling, tied to a rumored visit from the devil himself. This is a classic tale of a stormy night, a fateful card game, a horrifying discovery beneath a table, and the tragedy of a young woman who paid with her life and her peace. Join me as we step through the gates of Loftus Hall, where a mysterious opening in the roof could never be fully sealed, and a spirit still patiently waits in her tapestry room. First, make sure you've liked and subscribed to the channel so the platform can recommend more intriguing haunted videos to you. Let's begin with the most famous story, the event that forever sealed the fate of Loftus Hall, which occurred on a fiercely stormy night in the mid-18th century. The mansion was then the residence of the aristocratic Tottenham family. Charles Tottenham had become the owner of the mansion after marrying Anne Loftus, and according to inheritance terms, he had adopted the Loftus surname. After his first wife, Anne, passed away, he remarried and lived with his second wife and his daughter from the previous marriage, also named Anne Tottenham. On that fateful night, as the storm raged outside, a ship unexpectedly docked near the Hook Peninsula. A short while later, a stranger knocked on the mansion door, seeking refuge for the night. With the hospitality of the aristocracy, the Tottenham family welcomed the young, tall, and handsome man into their home. To pass the time while waiting for the storm to subside, the entire family joined their guest in the drawing room for a game of cards. The young lady, Anne Tottenham, was quickly captivated by the stranger's charm and sophistication. The game proceeded pleasantly until a fateful moment. While dealing cards, Anne accidentally dropped one to the floor right beneath the table. As she bent down to retrieve it, the flickering candlelight revealed a startling sight. Instead of the polished leather boots of a gentleman, the mysterious guest possessed something entirely different: a cloven hoof. In a state of extreme panic, Anne screamed, pointing at the guest's foot and exposing his true nature. Exposed, the stranger no longer concealed himself. He reportedly revealed his true form, transforming into a blazing ball of fire, bursting through the roof and ascending into the sky with a roar, leaving behind a permanent opening in the ceiling and a strong smell of sulfur. This event isn't just a folk legend. It has been recorded and has become an inseparable part of the mansion's history. The opening in the roof, where the entity is said to have departed, is reportedly impossible to fully repair. No matter how many times it's been patched, it supposedly reopens. The terrifying encounter with this supernatural presence left a more tragic consequence than just the hole in the roof. Miss Anne Tottenham, who had witnessed the guest's true form firsthand, never fully recovered from the shock. She completely lost her mental faculties. Anne's mental decline became a source of great shame for the aristocratic family. Instead of seeking treatment, they chose to hide her from the world. Anne was confined to her favorite room, known as the Tapestry Room. Here, she spent the remainder of her life in isolation. She reportedly refused food and drink, sitting motionless in her chair, knees drawn up to her chin, her eyes vacant as she gazed out the window toward the sea, as if still awaiting the return of her mysterious visitor. She passed away several years later in 1775 in that very fetal position. It's said that her body had become so rigid that the funeral attendants could not straighten her. They had to lay Anne to rest in a specially constructed coffin designed to accommodate her seated posture. Anne's tragic passing was not the end. It is believed that her spirit was unable to find peace. Family members and servants later reported seeing her apparition wandering the corridors of Loftus Hall at night. The Tapestry Room, where she was confined until her demise, became the most intensely haunted room in the entire mansion. Anne's spirit, along with the lingering curse said to be left by the entity, has forever sealed Loftus Hall's haunted reputation. In my opinion, the tragedy of Anne Tottenham is truly the heart of the haunting. The story of the devil might be a folk legend, but the pain of a young woman traumatized to the point of mental breakdown, then cast aside and confined by her own family, is a deeply human and very real tragedy. Her profound suffering and extreme loneliness are precisely the negative energy that permeated the walls of the Tapestry Room, creating a sense of sadness and heaviness that many visitors still perceive. The haunting of Loftus Hall was so significant that the Tottenham family couldn't resolve it on their own. In the 1770s, they invited numerous priests to perform exorcism rituals, but all were unsuccessful. The forces within the mansion seemed too powerful. Finally, a priest named Father Thomas Broaders succeeded in expelling the evil presence from the mansion. His success was considered such a great triumph that it was inscribed on his tombstone after his passing in 1773. The inscription on the tombstone states that he was the one who expelled the devil from Loftus Hall. This is not just a detail in a legend, but a recorded historical fact, showing the seriousness with which contemporaries viewed the events at Loftus Hall. However, many believed that even though Father Broaders succeeded in expelling the entity, he could not free the poor spirit of Anne Tottenham. Centuries passed, and the story endured. In the 20th and 21st centuries, Loftus Hall became a favorite destination for urban explorers and ghost hunting groups. And in 2014, modern evidence once again sparked the mansion's reputation. A visitor named Thomas Beavis, while on a tour, took a photograph. Later, upon reviewing it, he was startled to discover the image of two blurry figures, seemingly a young girl and an older woman looking out from a second-floor window. This Loftus ghost photo rapidly went viral online, firmly cementing Loftus Hall's haunted status in the digital age. To fully comprehend the haunting of Loftus Hall, we cannot solely focus on the ghost stories. The history of the building itself is also full of ups and downs and tragic events. It was built on the foundation of an older castle called Redmond Hall from the 14th century. The Redmond family had to fight to defend their home during wars, and were ultimately dispossessed, making way for the Loftus family, English settlers in the mid-17th century. In the late 19th century, from 1872 to 1884, the 4th Marquess of Ely undertook a massive renovation, transforming the castle into the magnificent mansion it is today. This work was carried out in hopes of hosting Queen Victoria, but that visit never materialized. Ironically, the very ghost story about the devil led the Queen to decide against visiting, as her husband, Prince Philip, had a fascination with ghost stories, and she didn't want the trip to be overshadowed. This costly renovation plunged the Loftus family deep into debt. Afterward, the mansion passed through many owners, from becoming a convent, a school for girls run by nuns, and even a hotel in the 1980s. In 2011, it was acquired by the Quigley family, who opened it to the public as a tourist attraction, before selling it again in 2021. Aidan Quigley, one of the recent owners who grew up with his parents' threats of being left at Loftus Hall if he misbehaved, shared his own experiences. He believes absolutely that the house is haunted, though he cannot prove it. He spoke of an incredible sense of sadness within the house. It's a beautiful place, but it's also a sad place. This feeling comes not only from the ghost stories, but also from the history of loss, missed opportunities, and the decline of a once glorious lineage. Today, although Loftus Hall is undergoing renovation and is not open to the public, its legacy lives on. It has been adapted into books, documentaries, and even inspired fictional works like Fowl Manor in the Artemis Fowl series. Ultimately, the story of Loftus Hall is a perfect blend of history, folklore, human tragedy, and religious belief. Did the devil truly visit that night? Does Anne's spirit still linger in the Tapestry Room? No one can say for sure. But one thing is undeniable. Within the cold stone walls of Loftus Hall, a deep sadness, an energy of loss and despair still endures. And that, more than any ghost, is what truly haunts